Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so we have a few injuries. Now, of course, Rob Ramage is done for the season. We have already addressed that. Rob Zamuner has a cramp, so I'm going to make him play with his cramp. That's okay. He shouldn't end up with a broken leg due to that. At least I hope not. Mckay Anderson had to be replaced. He has a jaw injury and it's unplayable. So I've put Jason Lafreniere back in since it's the closest to the type of player that he is. I only have one player that has an expiring contract, like I mentioned at the end of the last episodes, and I am not re-signing him. It is Jock Calendar. He is an Alpha Star player, so I'm not gonna bother with him. Again, I looked at the trading block. There was not much again, although I did see Mike Knuble available. I debated it, but I decided to not try to make a trade for him. He's like 20 in 1993 year, so didn't go for that. And then I tried to shop Ken Hodge because he's not doing much of anything. He's a 2-star player. I was hoping that maybe I could get an offer that I would think about, but I really didn't get anything, worth mentioning. Very similar players were offered to him. Nothing that would be an upgrade or, even potentially an upgrade in the future. To be honest, I think the best player that was offered to me was Ted Drury. He's like 21 or something, so I decided to not pull the trigger on that either. Maybe in March, there's going to be a little bit more of a market when we're getting closer to the trade deadline. So I had all intentions to tell you guys that I've made some form of change to the roster, but that didn't happen. The trade deadline is going to be, it's not in March, it's at the end of this month, so maybe we're gonna get something offered to us that's gonna be pretty good. I did toy with the idea of maybe trading Crossman or Sean Chambers. They have some value, I'm sure, but then our D would be really, really, really bad. So I think we're kind of stuck with what we have at the moment. Don't worry, there's gonna be changes made eventually, just not now. So anyway, so we are about to start February of 1993. Looks like a fairly busy month as well. We are going to start that in San Jose against the Sharks. Now, the Sharks is the only team in our conference that is worse than us, but ironically, we have not beat them this season. So San Jose is 13-36-3. And we are 0-2-1 against them this season. Now, one thing I forgot to check is to see if Wendell Young is the starter, and he is. Alright, so we are going to... Wendell Young is going to play pretty much all of the games. I might try to put Jeff Hackett in a game or two here. Alright, so let's go ahead and play in San Jose to start the month. And of course, as usual, go Lightning, go! So Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. Arthurs Irby is going to be in net for San Jose. And let's see if we can beat them for the first time this season. I did not change my tactics or anything like that. We had actually a pretty decent month last month, so I'm kind of sticking to my guns now. Oh, look at that. We won 6-2 in San Jose. That's pretty good. Alright, so we outshot the Sharks 39-31. Doug Crossman, whom I didn't trade, was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Brian Bradley was the second star with a goal and 2 assists as well. And Danton Cole was the third star with 2 goals. So we opened up the scoring in the first. It was Brian Bradley from Doug Crossman, and then Danton Cole scored on the power play from Brian Bradley and Doug Crossman, and after 1 minute of play it was already 2-0 Lightning. Nobody else scored in the first though, so that was 2-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Danton Cole scored from Rob Zamuner, and then Mike Hartman from Tim Berglund. And then Doug Crossman scored his 5th from Brian Bradley and Joe Rickey. It was 5-0 Tampa Bay after 2, so we were pretty much in control at that point. Then San Jose scored, made it 5-1, and then we scored again. It was Adam Creighton from Chris Contos, and then San Jose scored again, made it 6-2, but they couldn't close that 4-goal gap, so we won 6-2. So good start to the month here. Alright, so we're gonna get to see what was our exact record in January, plus that win is gonna be packed in there as well. Alright, Stu Grimson and Don Biggs are available. Not gonna pick them up. Alright, so he's unhappy with my work as a general manager, even though we went, well, technically we went 6-4-3 in January, so that's our first winning month ever, and he's unhappy. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and delete that, and we're not gonna think about it, and we are going to go ahead and head to Vancouver to play against the Canucks. Alright, so David Mckay is available, not picking him up. Paul Coffey is sidelined with a fractured thumb. That's gonna stink for the Kings here. They are like kind of trying to get it going to get into a good playoff spot, and now they lost Paul Coffey for 4 weeks. Coach report on, alright, that's fine. And then Rob Zamuner is recovered from his cramp. Alright, so now we just need to have Mikael Andersson be okay, and we will be able to put him back in the lineup. Alright, so we are about to play the Canucks. Canucks are 28-19-5. That's good for 4th in the conference. We are 0-1 against the Canucks this season. Let's see if we can beat them on their own ice. So we're going with Wendell Young again. They are going to go with Kay Whitmore for this game. Oh, it's another win for the Lightning, 4-1. I think I've nailed my tactics, at least for the lineup that I have here. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to win every single game, but we're definitely playing better hockey than we have been at the start of the season. So Vancouver did outshoot us 38-31. Jason Lafreniere exploded here in that game for the first star with 3 assists. Wendell Young was the second star. He had 37 saves, and Rob DeMaio was the third star with 2 assists. Alright, so Mike Hartman scored first in the first period from Jason Lafreniere and Rob DeMaio. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then Rob Zamuner scored his 10th in the second period from Jason Lafreniere and Sean Chambers. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay at that point. And then in the third period, Chris Conto scored from Kevin Lowe and Rob DeMaio, made it 3-0 Tampa Bay. Then Jeff Courtnall scored, keeping Wendell Young from getting a shutout. And finally, Tim Berglund scored his 5th from Jason Lafreniere and Kevin Lowe. 4-1 is the final score. Another great road game here for the Lightning. Oh, of course. So we got Adam Creighton that's hurt now, so let's go ahead and continue and figure it out. Oh, I think it's gonna be for a while. Yeah, 1 to 2 months. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, so what did he get? A broken toe. Alright, he's out for about 4 weeks. Dino Ciccarelli has a memorable game. He had 4 assists against the Blackhawks. Good night for Steve Yzerman in that same game. He had 3 goals and 3 assists. Pretty good indeed. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 15 games. He had 2 assists against the Rangers. And Mikael Andersson might be able to play. We'll see. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim all the way to the next game, which is in 5 days. We're going to be hosting the Leafs. From there, we're going to be able to see who's okay to play. Like, well, mostly I'm talking about Mikael Andersson here. So we don't have games, so it's not going to hurt us or anything. Alright. Alright, Mikael Anderson is completely back, so that's good. We don't have to play him hurt, so that's definitely a good thing. Ooh, I'm seeing what the last game of the month is gonna be. That's not gonna be pretty, probably. We're gonna be playing in Pittsburgh against the Penguins for the 2D game. So expect a lot of goals from the opposition. Alright. It is what it is. Right, so, Randy Mckay is available. I'm not gonna pick him up, I don't think. And then Mario Thayer. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick him up. Alright, one more click, and then I have to fix rosters. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 24 games. He had an assist against Boston. Alright, so, yeah. I have to fix rosters, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. That one might take a second, so I'm going to go ahead and pause and be right back and tell you all what I did. Alright, and we are back. So I've put Adam Creighton on injured reserve, and I have recalled John Tucker, which I did not dress though. I think it's a disservice to John Tucker in the game. He's never rated all that great for that particular season. Now, not that he had an incredible season or anything like that in real life, but he did get some points and everything. But at least my scouts are seeing Jason Lafreniere as being somewhat of a little bit of a better playmaker. So Jason Lafreniere gets the nod, and I've decided to put him as the second center. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens there. Mikael Anderson draws back in as well. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and see if that works out for us. So now we have Adam Creighton and Rob Ramage on on injured reserve. All right, so Toronto is going to be in town. They are now 25, 26, and 2. That's good for 8 in the conference. We are 2-3 against Toronto this season, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the last 2 games were the wins for us. So we lost the first 3, and now we won the last 2. Right, so we have a couple injuries, so let's see if we can manage to continue with our good play. So Grant Fuhr is going to be in net for the Leafs. We are going to Wendell Young yet again. Alright, let's see. And we won again, 5-3. Wow, that's a 3-game win streak here to start the month. Alright, so we outshot Toronto 25-24 in that game. Doug Crossman was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Murray Barron was the second star with an assist, and Chris Kontos was the third star with a goal and an assist. We had 9,015 people in attendance for this game. Chris Kontos opened up the scoring in the first period from Joe Rickey and Doug Crossman, and then Mikael Anderson celebrated his return to the lineup with his 15th goal of the season from Doug Crossman and Rob DiMaio. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay. After one, there was a fight between Ken Baumgartner and Mike Hartman in the first period there. Then in the second period, Doug Gilmour scored his 30th to make it 2-1, Tampa Bay after 2. Then Mikael Anderson scored again in the third period, 7 seconds in even, from Rob DiMaio and Jason Lafreniere. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay at that point. Kevin Lowe scored from Ken Hodge and Chris Kontos, 4-1. Then Toronto scored to come to within 2, but then Danton Cole scored from Brian Bradley, made it 5-2. The Leafs would have one more goal in the tank to make it 5-3, but that was it. So we won 5-3, so another nice victory here. Alright. Alright, so John McLean is suspended in New Jersey. He's going to miss 4 games. A night to remember for Dino Ciccarelli. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals in that same game against the Devils. Ray Shepherd extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 goals in that same game. And Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 16 games with a goal and an assist against the Ottawa Senators. Ooh, the Sens, look at that. So the Sens, who are not controlled by me, have already gotten more points than they did in real life. Look at that. Alright, so we have one day off before we play yet again the North Stars. Seems like we play them all the time. Alright, Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 25 games with a goal and an assist against the Rangers. And Teemu Selanne is hurt, but it's day-to-day. He's going to be out for about 4 days with a bruised finger. Alright, Minnesota is in town, so they are now 33-19-3, so that's good for third in the conference. And we've been playing a little bit better against Minnesota lately. We are now 2-3-1 against them, so that's game number 7 against that team. Are we tired to see them or what? Alright, so Darcy Wakaluk is going to be in net for the North Stars. We are going to go with Wendell Young. Oh, we managed to lose. Okay, so we are not invincible after all. Go figure. Alright, so we lost this game 5-3 against the North Stars, who have a pretty good team. They outshot us 37-28. Ross Courtnall was the first star of the game. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Brian Bradley was the second star with 2 goals and an assist. And Dave Gagne was the third star with 4 assists. We had 8,490 people in attendance for this game, and it's not a lot. Alright, so Brian Bradley opened up the scoring in the first period from Joe Rickey and Danton Cole. It was 1-0, but then the North Stars scored twice to make it 2-1 Minnesota after 1. And in the second period, the North Stars scored again, made it 3-1. Oh, we gave it a good effort. So we scored twice in the third period. So Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Brian Bradley and Doug Crossman, and then Brian Bradley from Rob Zamuner and Danton Cole, and it was tied at 3 at that point. But then Ross Courtnall completed his hat-trick with 2 goals, and that was it. We lost 5-3. Alright. Alright, memorable night for Ross Courtnall. As we saw, he had a hat-trick, and then big game for Dave Gagne. As we saw, he had 4 assists. Brian Marchment is back from suspension in Chicago, back in the lineup for them. Wayne Gretzky extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal and an assist against Detroit. Good game for Ray Shepherd in that same game. He had 3 goals and an assist. And that was 13 straight games with a point for him. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Steve Yzerman, who had 4 assists. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 17 games with a goal against Montreal. Rich Sutter is back from his second suspension of the season, back in the lineup over there. Doug Gilmour extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Canucks. And then Mike Stapleton falls from roof, suffers injury. So Penguin center Mike Stapleton is in not the best of shape after falling from the roof of his house yesterday. According to team officials, Stapleton had been shingling his roof with a friend when he apparently slipped and fell over the side of the 2-story home. A hospital spokesman indicated that Stapleton landed on his back, but was lucky to avoid a head trauma. His prognosis was unclear this morning, but after further evaluation, he will likely miss the next few weeks with a strained back. Head coach Scotty Bowman said everybody wants to be able to fix and solve things around the house. Perhaps next time he thinks twice and just hires a contractor. That's right, Mike Stapleton, shame on you to try to be a handyman. You're a hockey player and nothing else. Alright. So we have a few days off here before we host the Boston Bruins. Dave Babbage has racked up 600 points in his career with an assist against Buffalo. So 31 years old, Dave Babbage, 2-star defenseman. No one could stop Pat LaFontaine in that same game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Yeah, that's pretty good. And Joe Murphy is injured. Torn back muscle. He's going to miss 5 months. Your season is pretty much over, Mr. Murphy. Oof, that's a lot of news. All right. Robert Reichel in Calgary is suspended, so he's going to miss 3 games. Wayne Gretzky is injured, and he is day-to-day. That happened in that same game against Washington. They say he might be out for 6 days. Terry Murray lost his job finally in Washington. So Washington is 18-30-8. So of course the coach pays the note for that record. And they go with, the Tiger, Michel Bergeron. Alright, Michel Bergeron now the coach in Washington. Gary Galley extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Devils. Mark Recchi extends his point streak to 18 games with a goal and 2 assists in that same game. Ron Francis extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against Chicago. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 26 games with a goal in that same game. And in that same game, Rick Tocchet extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal. Ray Shepherd extends his point streak to 14 games with a goal and an assist against the Blues. And finally, Doug Gilmour extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal and 2 assists against Minnesota. All right. Okay, so Boston is in town. What are we looking like here? Wendell Young is still in pretty good shape, so he's gonna go. Boston is 37-16-4. That's a pretty good record. So we are 0-1 against Boston this season. We lost 6-4 earlier this season in Boston. Alright, so the Bruins are going to go with Andy Moog. We are going with Wendell Young. Go Lightning, go. And we won 3-2. Wow, another win. So another decent month so far at least. And we outshot the Bruins 34-33. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Ray Bourque was the second star with a goal. And Danton Cole was the third star with 2 assists. 8,861 people in attendance for the game. Alright, so Boston scored first in the first period, and then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Brian Bradley, made it 1-1, but Boston took the lead back, and it was 2-1 Boston after 1. Then in the second period, Brian Bradley tied the game. It was his 20th of the season, and it was a power play goal from Mikael Anderson and Danton Cole. It was tied at 2 after 2, and there was a fight between Bobby Elick and Brent Hughes. Then finally in the third period, Brian Bradley scored the game winner from Danton Cole and Rob Zamuner. It was 3-2, and that's the victory right there. Alright, pretty good. Now I know we're kind of screwing ourselves out of a, really good draft pick, but that's okay. For that draft, really the top player that I would want to get is probably Chris Pronger to solidify our D for that 10-year period that I have to win the cup. That would fit just nicely in there before he probably starts to decline, but it is what it is. Ron Francis extends his assist streak to 9 games with an assist against Buffalo. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 27 games in that same game with a goal and an assist. Ray Shepherd's point streak ended at 14 games. It was held scoreless against Chicago. Steve Yzerman, however, extended his assist streak to 8 games with a goal and an assist in that same game. Memorable night for Valeri Kamensky, who had a hat-trick against Edmonton. Memorable night for Brian Benning, who had 4 assists against New Jersey. Gary Galley extends his assist streak to 9 games. In that same game, he had an assist. And in that same game, Mark Recchi extended his point streak to 19 games with a goal. Alright, and we have again a couple days off before we hit the road for a quick 2 road trip. 2-game road trip. Wow, I butchered that. Alright. Alright, so Chris Pryor is available on waivers. I'm not going to pick that guy up. Pavel Bure keeps fans on their feet all night. He had 4 goals against Vancouver, against his former team. Got traded for Luc Robitaille, and look at him. He filled the net. And a night to remember for Wayne Gretzky in that same game. He had 5 assists. Alright, so I think I'm going to have Wendell Young play against Detroit, and then I'll send Jeff Hackett against the Leafs. That's what I want to do. Alright, so Tony Horacek is available on waivers. Gary Galley's assist streak ended at 9 games. He did get a goal, too, but no assists. That was against the Flames. Mark Ricky's point streak ended at 19 games. In that same game, he was held scoreless against the Flames. And we have a trade proposal from the Chicago Blackhawks, who want to probably trade us Chris Chelios and Jeremy Roenick. That would be really cool, but that's probably not what they want to offer me. No, they want to offer me Jocelyn Lemieux for Brent Gretzky. Yeah, Brent Gretzky, it's not all that great or anything, but neither is Jocelyn Lemieux. Jocelyn Lemieux plays the wing. You never have too many good center. I'm going to pass on that. But that's a trade that I maybe would have made, but not today. I'm not in the mood for that trade right now. Alright, so we are in Detroit. Oh god, look at that record. So Detroit is 57-2. Yeah, they are all alone the top of the conference, and I don't think anybody's going to come close to catch to them. So we are 0-4 against Detroit this season, and yeah, that might be tough to win that one. You never know. You never know. So we have Wendell Young in net. They have Vincent Riendo. And let's sim the game and hope for the best. Let's sacrifice a baby unicorn in the hopes that we win this game. We lost 5-0, so kind of to be expected. Sucks we didn't get a goal, but Detroit is just so good. So we were outshot 39-19 in that one. Yves Racine was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Zeno Cicerelli was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Ray Shepherd was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. Alright, so nobody scored in the first period, and there was a fight between Bob Probert and Bobby Alec. And then Detroit scored all of their goals in the second period. And then there was another fight between Keith Primo and Joe Rickey. And that was pretty much the game right there. Alright, so Rob Dobson is available. I'm not going to pick him up. Steve Yzerman extends his assist streak to 9 games with a goal and an assist against us. We were there. We saw that. Big game for Dave Gagne. He had a hat-trick. 3 goals against the Kings. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Mike Modano, who had 4 assists in that same game. Brett Hull got 600 points in his career with a goal and an assist against the Devils. So Brett Hull is 28, and he's a 5-star player, and he's already at 600 points in his career. Craig Janney has a great game. In that same game, he had 3 goals and an assist. There was no stopping Jody Hull, who had 4 goals against the Quebec Nordics. And Glenn Anderson extends his goal streak to 5 games. He scored a goal against the Flames. Oh, look at that. Our friend Rich Sutter got suspended again. So, why not? This time he's going to miss 6 games. I guess he doesn't care much for a paycheck. Ron Francis extends his assist streak to 10 games. He got a goal and an assist against the Oilers. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 28 games in that same game against the Oilers. He also had a goal and an assist. Strong game for Greg Adams in Vancouver. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Flyers. Alright, and Adam Creighton is starting to skate, so that's good news for us. Alright, so Oh, no, I do have 2 games in 2 nights here. Okay. I don't know how I missed that. I can't do math, I guess. Alright, so I'll still have Wendell Young play that game, and tomorrow he's going to play at home against Quebec. Alright. Let's go. Oh, I forgot to check the Leafs record. Well, the Leafs are now 29, 27, and 2, and we're doing a lot better against the Leafs right now. So Wendell Young is going to be in net for us, and Grant Fuhr is going to be in net for Toronto. And we won again against the Leafs, 3-1. Pretty good. We were outshot 33-30 in that game. Joe Rickey was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Doug Gilmour was the second star with a goal, and Chris Kontos was the third star with 2 goals. Alright, so nobody scored in the first. Then in the second period, Toronto scored first, and then Chris Kontos scored both of his goals. So the first one from Joe Rickey and Doug Crossman, and then the second one was his 15th of the season from Bobby Elick and Joe Rickey. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Rob Zamuner scored from Joe Rickey, and it was a 3-1 victory for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Chris Pryor is being put on waivers yet again for the second time this month. A great night for Ray Shepherd. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. That's pretty good. Good game for Steve Yzerman, who had a goal and 4 assists in that same game. So it was 10 straight games with an assist for Yzerman. Robert Reichel is back from suspension in Calgary, back in the lineup. And John McLean is back in the lineup as well, but for the Devils, obviously. Alright, time to have Jeff Hackett play a game here. Alright, so we are hosting the Quebec Nordics. So Quebec is maybe not doing all that great. Well, they're doing okay, but compared to what they did in real life, they are 27, 23, and 8. So that's a little bit below what they had in that season, if I recall correctly. We are 1-1 against the Quebec Nordics this season. We lost 4-0 against them at home, and we beat them 3-2 in Quebec. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a W here on home ice against a team that should be pretty good offensively. Alright, so Quebec is going to go with Stéphane Fizet in net, and we're going to have Jeff Hackett that I just put in for this game. Oh, we lost 5-2, so the good offense of the Nordiques was too much for us to contain. We were outshot 36-25 in that game. Craig Wallanen was the first star of the game with a goal and an assist. Owen Nolan was the second star with 2 goals, and Steve Duchesne was the third star with a goal and an assist. 9,596 people in attendance for this game. So Quebec scored twice in the first period, and they were up 2-0 after 1. They scored again in the second period, made it 3-0. Then we had Ken Hodge score from Roman Amerlik and Chris Kontos. It was 3-1 Quebec at that point. Then the Nordiques scored again, and then we scored again to come to within 2. Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Joe Rickey. It was 4-2 Quebec at that point, and then the Nordiques added another goal near the end of the game. It was 5-2, and yeah. Nothing much to report. We lost that game fair and square. The Nordiques are probably just a little bit better than us. Mark Janssens is sidelined with a fractured larynx. Ouch. So he's out for 5 months in Hartford. So Mark Janssens' season is pretty much over. Laurie Boschman played in his 1000th game with the Ottawa Senators. Didn't get a point to celebrate that. Laurie Boschman, 32 years old, 2-star player. And that happened against Montreal. Ron Francis extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Islanders. And that was 11 straight games with an assist for him. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 29 games with an assist in that same game. And Doug Gilmour extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Bruins. Alright, I'm going to put Wendell Young back in net. So the Jeff Hackett experiment did not work for the game against the Nordiques. Right, Ron Francis extends his point streak to 13 games with 2 assists against Hartford, and that was 12 straight games with an assist for him. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 30 games with a goal and 3 assists in that same game. And Steve Yzerman's assist streak ended at 10 games. He was held scoreless against Minnesota. Alright, and the trade deadline is almost upon us. Apparently I have Kevin Lowe that's hurt. Oh, he also cannot play. Okay. So maybe I should take care of that. Should I check to see if I can make a trade? I don't know. I mean, the only player really that has a tiny bit of value that I am willing to trade is Ken Hodge, and I really didn't get any kind of good response for that. Maybe I could try to trade Karpovtsev and see what I'm getting. Might not be a bad idea. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video here. I have to fix my lines with Kevin Lowe and whatnot. And then I think I might try to trade Karpovtsev and see what I'm getting here. So give me a moment. Well, for you it's going to be really a second. And I'll be right back. Alright, and I am back. So, since the trade deadline is really close, I took a peek at the trading block and it's very barren. Well, unless I want to overpay for an alpha star player, of course. So, yeah, that's something I wish that would be maybe a little bit more realistic. Now, keep in mind I was a little young back in 1993, so I don't exactly remember what the trade market looked like at the trade deadline. I do know that it was not, as lively as it is nowadays, or at least at the start of the 2000s is probably like the peak that it was at. But yeah, there's really nothing there. And then I tried to shop Alexander Karpovtsev, and I got a lot of the same offers that I did for Ken Hodge, and I ended up not making a trade. I hesitated a little bit, I will admit. Chicago did offer me an 18-year-old Sergei Krivokrasov, but I decided to not pull the trigger on that. I think that Karpovtsev is probably more valuable to us right now than, Krivokrasov in a few years when I'm starting to have the team going. He has only a 2-star potential. Now, whether it's accurate or not, I don't know, but that sounds about right with my knowledge of the player. So, yeah, I stood still again. Now, I promise it's not going to be always like that, but I'm not going to lose a trade just for the sake of making a trade for the video. So, yeah. Alright. Oh, forgot to check. Did I put... Yeah, Wendell Young is going to be facing the LA Kings. So we have only 3 games left here in February, with the last game that's going to be the 2D game. That's going to be 3 tough games here. LA, and then Chicago, and then Pittsburgh. Wow. Okay. Alright, so at home against the Kings. The Kings are 29, 27, and 4. That's good for 5th in the conference. And we are 1-1 against the Kings this season. So the Kings are going to go with Kelly Rudy in net. We are going to go with Wendell Young. And we won 5-3. Wow, we managed to stop Wayne Gretzky and whatnot. We actually beat the Kings, and it's actually the second time this season. Pretty good. All right, so we outshot the Kings 34-33. Rob Zamuner was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 3 assists. Pavel Bure was the second star with 2 assists, and Brian Bradley was the third star with 2 goals and 1 assist. Brian Bradley is really starting to open it up. Not that he's going to, win the scoring race or anything, but he started really slow, and he's starting to pick up now a little bit to what I was expecting of him. So we had 8,459 people in attendance for this game. Rob DiMaio scored first. That was a power play goal from Rob Zamuner and Jason Lafreniere. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point, and then Brian Bradley scored from Roman Amerlik and Rob Zamuner. It was a 2-0 Tampa Bay lead after 1. What's that here? There's been a Wayne Gretzky illegal check to the head and misconduct. Wow. Gretzky playing dirty here. So maybe that's why we won. Wayne Gretzky took himself out of the game really early. Alright, thank you, Wayne. Brian Bradley scored in the second period to make it 3-0 from Doug Crossman and Rob Zamuner. Then Rob Zamuner from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole. It was 4-0 for Tampa Bay after 2. Then there was a fight between Mike Hartman and Marty McSorley. Then we went into the third period where Ellie finally scored a goal. Then Sean Chambers scored on the power play from Jason Lafreniere and Doug Crossman, made it 5-1. And then Ellie scored 2 goals to make it 5-3, but they just couldn't tie the game. The lead was too big. So is Wayne Gretzky suspended? There's a news there. Yes, he is. That's the second time this season that Wayne Gretzky is suspended. So for those of you that followed my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series, I had a star player that kept getting suspended all the time. It was Sergei Fedorov. So it looks like it's going to be Wayne Gretzky in this one here for some reason. Alright, so Gretzky suspended for 7 games. Wow. Doug Gilmore's point streak ended at 12 games. It was held scoreless against the Canucks. Right, and then we have a couple days here before we play against the Blackhawks. That's going to be another tough game. League says no suspension for Norm McIver in Ottawa, so not suspended. Ron Francis' point streak ended at 13 games. It was held scoreless against the Devils. So his assist streak ended at 12 games. Mario Lemieux, however, extended his to 31 games with a goal and an assist in that same game. Bernie Nichols has racked up 400 goals in his career with a goal against Quebec. So Bernie Nichols, 31 years old, two-star player. And we have a trade proposal from the Edmonton Oilers who want to trade us Brad Zawisza for Judd Calendar. Oh, I might say yes to that. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes to that only because I'm losing Judd Calendar at the end of the season anyway. I am not re-signing him, and I'm getting a player that's 10 years younger. Now I do understand that he's probably not gonna amount to anything because he's an alpha star, but who knows? Maybe he's gonna get a boost enough to get to a 1-star and get to play some games. So here, now you can't say I haven't traded. There you go. Big trade here. Alright, so we have traded half-star players, so that's a depth move at the very best of cases. Oh, I have to take care of that guy, huh? Where is he? Oh, there he is. There we go. All right. Okay, Whitmore is available on waivers. I won't pick him up. Oh, now there's been a trade. That's why they are waiving K. Whitmore, because the Canucks acquired John Van Beesbroek. That's interesting. So Kevin Lowe should be back soon here, and there's been a trade here. So John Van Beesbroek and a 4th-round draft pick are going to the Canucks for Jeff Courtnall and Dana Merzen. So Jeff Courtnall should be pretty good. Yeah, he's more than a point per game. So the Rangers here pull the trigger. Van Beesbroek, of course, is a really good goaltender, but the Rangers also have Mike Richter, so they are going to keep Mike Richter. They traded Van Beesbroek, and then Dana Merzen kind of makes up for the 4th-round draft pick, I guess. Pretty interesting trade, pretty high-profile trade, too. So, yeah. I like when trades like that happen. A little bit more than like when the trades like the one I made happen. Who cares about half-star? Well, sometimes half-star players can be interesting too if they had an history in the league for real, but All right, so Chicago's going to be in town. Now, Chicago's been struggling. They are 26, 31, and 5. That's good for 8 in the conference. However, we are 0-3 against them, and our last 2 losses have been 6-0 loss and 7-0 loss. So let's aim to score some goals against Chicago here. All right, so Ed Belfour is going to be in net for the Blackhawks. We are going to go with Wendell Young. And it's a 3-3 tie. You know what? I will take it. Thank you. All right, so we were outshot 40-22 here against the Blackhawks. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Dave Christian was the second star with a goal, and Joe Rickey was the third star with a goal as well. All right, so 9,219 people in attendance for this game. So Chicago scored first in the first period, then Danton Cole scored his 15th of the season on the power play from Brian Bradley, tied the game at 1, and then Chicago scored again to take a 2-1 lead. Then in the second period, Brian Bradley scored his 25th from Sean Chambers. It was tied at 2 after 2. Then in the third period, Chicago took the lead, but then Joe Rickey tied the game with a little bit more than 8 minutes left to go in the third period from Chris Contos and Doug Crossman. It was tied at 3, and of course nobody scored in overtime, so we have a tie, 3-3 tie here against the Blackhawks. I'll take it. On paper they have a good team. Their record is not that great, but alright, so no further action needed for Jere Lehtinen here in Minnesota. He is not suspended. Larry Bushman is suspended, however. He's going to miss 7 games for Ottawa. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 32 games with 3 assists against Ottawa. A night to remember for Kevin Stevens in that same game. He had 3 goals and an assist. And then we have a trade proposal from the New Jersey Devils. They are offering us Brian Sullivan for Brent Gretzky. Yeah, I won't do that one. If I wanted to, I could have gotten Jocelyn Lemieux instead. So, no, not doing that one. All right. Oh, I have a few more trade proposals. Who knows? All right, so Calgary loses Joe Nieuwendyk to injury. That's going to suck for the Flames. How long? 7 weeks. Yikes. Sprained AC joint in his shoulder. Alright, so Kevin Lowe is almost fully recovered. And now we have 2 trade proposals. So one from the Blues and one from the Kings. So the Blues are offering us Yann Laperriere for Ken Hodge, maybe. Now Yann Laperriere has to develop, but that's the type of player, maybe. What's the Kings? Mike Gull for Brent Gretzky to go play with his brother, huh? Okay, that's what I'm gonna say no. Alright, and then Yann Laperriere for Ken Hodge. You know what? I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on that trade here. Now, Yann Laperriere is not gonna play this season, and he has a little bit less potential. But he's going to fit well for like a 3rd or 4th line duty. So I am going to make that trade. So that's the biggest trade I have made so far. Yann Laperriere. Let's see if I can get a draft pick on top of that. Let's try to add a 4th round draft pick. Alright, so it's been offered, so I guess we're going to find out soon. Alright, and now we are going to be playing in Pittsburgh. That one is probably going to hurt. Alright, so Pittsburgh is 48, 9, and 5. That's really good. We also lost 9-1 against them the one time we played them. So let's go ahead and do the 2D game. Now I'm going to warn you right ahead. We're probably going to lose by a high score. So at least we're going to see some goals. That game is not going to be a 0-0 game. I'm ready to bet a lot of things on that. Alright, so let's go ahead and play this game here. So we're going to go with Wendell Young. They are going to go with Tom Barrasso. Checking my options as usual. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get that started. Go Tampa Bay, go. Alright. Alright, well, we get a power play early. Ulf Samuelsson trips somebody. There you go. Alright, so Tampa Bay goes on the power play. Oh, God. Yeah, that was Mario Lemieux. He just went past Joe Rickey like it was nothing. That gave some flashes of the play on Sean Chambers from Minnesota in the playoffs, that Mario Lemieux like completely undressed him and everything. And now Sean Chambers is playing for my team. He's one of my best. But yeah, Mario Lemieux made him look foolish on that play. At least I think it was Sean Chambers. I'm pretty confident it was. Oh, a goal. We scored first. Who scored? Ken Hodge. That you might be gone after this game. Assisted by Mark Bergeron. Alright, Ken Hodge put us on the board. We are up 1-0 here in Pittsburgh with 16:11 left to go in the first period. Alright. Go Tampa Bay, go. Oh, that's a save by Wendell Young. Come on, little guy. Oh. Ah. That's a save. Oh. That's Jagger. Yeah, we can't let him go like that. Come on, guys. We need to play with a little bit more sustenance here. Alright, so Bobby Elick tripped somebody. So now we have to kill a penalty. That's not good. Their power play is probably very scary. Come on, buddy. Oh, Jagger tripped somebody. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for 1:01. Oh, we scored again. Brian Bradley with the goal from Doug Crossman and Mikael Anderson. Wow, we're up 2-0 here. I'm not expecting for it to last, but I'm enjoying it while it's lasting. Go little squares! And now we're going to go on the power play for almost a minute. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Oh, that was one heck of a play there. Not too sure what happened. Alright, so puck is out of play. Of course, our power play is over. Oh. Come on, Amerlik. You can do it. Stop him. That was Kevin Stevens. Oh, Sean McEachern holding. Look at that. So we're going on the power play again, and we're already up to 0. Let's go lightning. Oh, Paul Stanton took a penalty. 5-on-3 for 1:53. Surely we can score on that. Come on, guys. 5-on-3. A long one. Yes! Mikael Anderson scored from Joe Rickey and Danton Cole. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Wow. And we're still on the power play too. It only erases the first penalty. All right. Oh, goalie holds the puck. Okay. Well, so far we're playing better than I anticipated. I should have opened a beer or something. Instead of my usual water. But, you know, water is better to keep me hydrated. Also, I'm diabetic, and beer is not exactly great for diabetics. So, which is a shame. I like me some good beer. Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct for Paul Stanton, so another penalty for him. So is there other penalties going on? No, we're on the power play. Leo Gudis not suspended. Sorry, penalty, slashing. Wow, the Pittsburgh is not taking us seriously. They're like really taking a bunch of penalties, and now we're gonna have another 5-on-3 for 44 seconds. Oh, another goal! Jason Lafreniere from Rob Di and Rob Zamuner. Awesome, 4-0 Tampa Bay here with 1:35 left to go in the first period. Are they gonna pull their goaltender? Is Barrasso gonna get pulled? Oh, this time we took a penalty. Chris Contos with holding the stick penalty. Alright, so our power play is over. So we're gonna be 4-on-4 for a minute. And the first period is over. Alright, so yeah, I never thought we would be up 4-0 after one. Of course, I'll take it. And we managed to limit them to 6 shots on goal. We only got 9, too, but, you know, 4 of them went in. That's what matters. So, is Reggett going to come in for the second period? No, it's still Barrasso. Alright, so we're killing the penalty now. Oh, that's a save. Oh, breakaway. Oh. The puck hits the net. Why is Joe Rickey playing up front? Alright, so Mikael Anderson, ice-sticking. It's a 2-minute minor, not a 4-minute, so at least that's that. So we are killing a penalty now. 17-14 left to go in the second period. Tampa Bay is up 4-0. Alright. Oh, there was a fight here between Bobby Olick and Kevin Stevens. Alright, so Pittsburgh's still on the power play for 30 seconds or so. Then we are going to be at even strength. Right, Joe Rickey. Oh, he got passed. Oh, alright, that was a shot from a distance. Come on, buddy. Oh, God, Brian Bradley got like 3 shots right there. Alright, icing, 13:48 to go in the second period. Puck is out of play. Alright. Puck is out of play again. Jagger was stopped by Wendell Young. What a play. And that's an icing. 11:43 left to go in the second period. Tampa Bay is up 4-0 here in Pittsburgh. Puck is out of play again. Pittsburgh loves to put the puck in the stands. Oh, that was a stop by Wendell Young there. They have their big guys on the ice, or they add their big guys on the ice. Alright, that's going to be an icing. Alright, 9:43 left to go. Come on. Jason Lafreniere. Uh-oh. Alexander Karpovtsev hooked, and we are killing another penalty. And we clear. Alright, that's good. Uh-oh. Oh, Wendell Young with the saves against their best players there. Look at Mario Lemieux playing defense there. Right, and we killed that penalty. Or almost. Yeah, the penalty's killed now. Alright. Goalie holds the puck. Alright, 5:56 left to go in the second. Still 4-0. Oh, that's an icing. Oh, what a save. At least I think. By the little square. Wendell Young. So a lot of times the forwards are left to play defense. I don't know if it's because of my tactics, but it's happening for the computer too. Alright, Wendell Young holds the puck. 2:19 left to go in the second. Oh, the shutout is gone. Bob Airy scored from Joe Mullen and Ron Francis. It is 4-1 Tampa Bay here in the second period with 2:08 left to go in the second. Alright, let's not allow another goal here before the end of the period. Oh, God. Bob Airy scored his second goal unassisted here. 4-2 with 1:50 left to go. Alright, come on, buddy. Let's get a 3-goal lead back. Oh, missed the net. Alright, so it is 4-2 Tampa Bay after 2. So Pittsburgh got back into that one. They also got a lot of shots. They got 21 shots on goal here in the second period. Of course, we took quite a few penalties, so that didn't help our cause there. So, yeah, they are leading in the shots. So we're going to need to play tighter defense here in the third period if we want a shot at winning this before Mario Lemieux decides to take over. Then it might be too late. Oh, God. Come on. Oh, Larry Murphy. Why is Larry Murphy wearing number 8? Okay. Alright, so tripping for Larry Murphy. So we're going on the power play. That would be really swell if we could score on that. Yes, I use an expression that almost nobody uses anymore. I use the expression swell. Just to show my age. Oh, come on, little squares. Alright. Oh, Sean Chambers took a penalty now. That's not good. Tripping. We are going to need to kill that. 15:08 left to go in the third period. There's plenty of time left for Pittsburgh to tie this game. I don't want them to. I want to say that I was able to beat the Penguins in Pittsburgh. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Oh, we got a shot out of that. That was Bobby Alec. Alright, Joe Rickey is struggling there with whoever had the puck. Bobby Alec took another penalty. Alright, we're killing this penalty, hopefully. 11:59 left to go in the third period. Oh! Oh, Jagger scored. It's 4-3. That's not good. So Jaromir Jagger scored, assisted by Kevin Stevens. Our lead has completely evaporated there. We are only up 1 goal, and there's 11:33 left to go in the third period. Uh-oh. Lots of back and forth. Alright. Come on. Let's get a shot. Nope. No shot this time. Oh! That was a one-timer. And Barrasso stopped that. Alright, come on, guys. We can do it. Puck is out of play. 7:20 left to go in the third. Tampa Bay is up by 1. Puck is out of play again. 6:53 to go. No! Don't let him go. Good play, good play. Good defensive play. I like me some good defense. Oh! Got a shot out of that. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Alright, stopped by Wendell Young. Oh. They stole the puck. Come on, Roman Emmerich. Oh, Mark Bergevin just took a penalty. That's not good. Alright, so we have to kill a penalty with 3:13 left to go in the third period. Ouch. Alright. Go Lightning, go. They tied the game. Jaromir Jagr from Kevin Stevens again. Alright, tied at 4 with 3:11 left to go in the third period. Oh! Yes! Oh. Mikael Anderson scored from Tim Berglund and Doug Crossman. It's 5-4 Tampa Bay with 1:54 left to go in the third period. Oh my god. We are at the edge of our seat. At least I am. Oh, Mikael Anderson took a penalty. Alright, 2 minutes for interference. 1:05 left to go in the game. We need to win the face-off and clear the puck. Clear that. Well, some puck possession is okay as long as you don't lose it stupidly. Like that. Oh my god. Come on, guys. Oh, we won. I can't believe it. We won 5-4 in Pittsburgh. It wasn't easy, but we won 5-4 against Pittsburgh. Wow. Alright, so 5-4 victory. So we were outshot 38-25 in that game. Mckay Anderson was the first star. He had 2 goals and an assist. Bob Airy was the second star with 2 goals. And Doug Crossman was the third star with 2 assists. So, of course, we scored those 4 goals in the first period. So Ken Hodge scored from Mark Bergevin and Alexander Karpovtsev. And then Brian Bradley from Doug Crossman and Mckay Anderson. Then Mckay Anderson scored on the power play from Joe Rickey and Danton Cole. And then Jason Lafreniere scored his first on the power play from Rob DiMaio and Rob Zamuner. It was 4-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then Pittsburgh scored twice in the second period. There was also a fight between Kevin Stevens and Bobby Olick. Then Pittsburgh tied the game in the third period, but then Mckay Anderson scored his 20th of the season from Tim Berglund and Doug Crossman to give us the 5-4 win here in Pittsburgh. We never thought that it would happen. It did. Alright, so Jeff Tri-Crown is available. I'm not going to pick him up. Larry Murphy has played in his 1000th game against us, and he celebrated that with an assist. So, Larry Murphy, 31 years old, 4-star player. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 33 games. He did get an assist against us in that game, so that makes 33 games with a point for him. Dave Andreychuk has a strong game. He had a hat-trick against Montreal. Good night for John LeClaire in that same game. He had a goal and 4 assists. Pretty good. Oh, Brendan Shanahan in St. Louis is injured. He's going to miss 3 weeks. Elbow strain. Alright, so those are my scouting reports, and Kevin Lowe is ready to come back, so we will fix that before the next video. I have one more click to make it into March. There we go. New York's Darius Kasparadis is suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. There was no stopping Mario Lemieux. He had 3 goals and an assist against Washington. And that was 34 straight games with him for a point. And that was 8 straight games with an assist. Alright, the players of the month were Tim Shovelday and Steve Yzerman. So I guess the Red Wings did pretty good, huh? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and save this here. So look at us. We made some separation between us and San Jose now. So we might, and San Jose now has played more games than us. So we might not finish in the basement. Alright, so let's take a look at our stats. Alright, so, oh, look at that. Brian Bradley really picked it up. He's now a point per game. 56 points in 56 games. That's pretty good. Then we have Danton Cole with 40 and 64. Anderson, 37 and 62. Zamuner, 36 and 64. And then Crossman, 32 and 60. Then it just goes down from there. So, yeah. Brian Bradley has started to pick it up, and that's good news for us, especially if we can give him a few decent wingers for next season. He should be able to produce some points for us. Brian Bradley was a decent player. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and check, not here, check here, see who's the best in the league. Mario Lemieux and Teemu Selanne both have 58 goals, so they are leading the league in that category. Mario Lemieux has 84 assists, so he's the best there, so obviously he is the best scorer with 142 points. Second place is Steve Yzerman at 116, so he has quite a big lead here. What, 26 points lead? So that's pretty good. Alright. Look at the plus minus. It's all Red Wings almost. Yeah, the Wings are really good. I cannot wait for us to move to the other conference. Alright, so that concludes today's video. I'm going to, I know I just saved, I'm going to do it again out of habit. So I'm going to go ahead and save here. I know I didn't make a whole lot of, trades or anything, but Yann Laperrière should be a useful player in a few years. Should be able to play on those bottom two lines, which is, you know, important. I mean, it's important to score goals, but it's also important to have people who can play on the PK and everything. So Yann Laperrière is probably going to be a big part of that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here for today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.